Buckle up, folks, because the global stage just pulled a plot twist bigger than a summer blockbuster. The United Nations Security Council has officially endorsed Donald Trump's brand new Gaza plan, and trust me, this thing is packed tighter than a Thanksgiving airport line. We've got international forces gearing up, geopolitical powerhouses side-eyeing each other, and enough diplomatic drama to make cable news blush. Russia and China abstained, while the US is hyping this up as a championship win, and the Middle East is bracing for what comes next. Welcome to Global Pulse News, where we break it down bold, fast, and with enough energy to keep your coffee jealous. The United Nations Security Council just stamped its approval on a US-drafted resolution backing Donald Trump's massive 20-point Gaza plan, and the room practically hummed with tension. 13 nations voted in favor, none voted against, and two of the world's biggest voices, Russia and China, hit the abstain button like they were skipping a bad song. No vetoes, no fireworks, just a quiet yet powerful, we're not fully vibing with this moment. Still, the passage signals a major global shift. And trust me, if you thought abstaining was harmless, wait until you see how much weight a silent bench sit can throw internationally. And speaking of weight, let's unpack exactly what's inside this heavyweight plan. Trump's 20-point blueprint isn't a tiny memo. It's a full-blown geopolitical overhaul meant to reshape Gaza's security, stability, and leadership. We're talking about a ceasefire anchored to a hostage release agreement, plus the creation of an international stabilization force comprising nations ready to monitor borders, corridors, and facilitate demilitarization efforts. Throw in a new governing mechanism, the Board of Peace, and you've got a plan that aims to flip the script entirely. It's bold, ambitious, and complicated as hell. And just when you think you've wrapped your head around it, the plan drops its most controversial element yet. Yep, buckle in, the statehood conversation just walked through the door. The real eyebrow raiser inside this resolution is a subtle but powerful clause hinting at a potential path toward Palestinian statehood. But don't get it twisted, this isn't a golden ticket or a quick sign form. It's more like a maybe if everything lines up perfectly and you ace every requirement scenario. The text frames statehood as conditional, tied to political reform, reconstruction, demilitarization, and long-term stability. Some nations applauded the inclusion, others said it was too vague, and critics warned it opens a can of diplomatic worms. Either way, the implications here reach far beyond Gaza's borders. And that brings us straight to the two global giants that weren't fully convinced. Russia and China didn't pull out vetoes, which is notable in itself, but they also didn't hop aboard. Instead, both abstained, raising alarms over structural gaps they say could create imbalances in authority. Moscow argued the Board of Peace lacks clear operational rules, while Beijing questioned the mandate of the Stabilization Force and whether it hands too much control to US-aligned nations. Translation, we're watching, but we're not signing a loyalty pledge. Their abstention doesn't block the plan, but it does send a strategic warning shot across the diplomatic table. And boy, the reactions across the region only crank the volume higher. The responses rolled in like waves after a storm. Trump celebrated instantly, calling the resolution one of the most historic approvals in UN history, while supporters cheered a new direction for Gaza policy. The Palestinian Authority cautiously welcomed the shift, seeing potential breathing room for future negotiations. Hamas rejected it flat out, labeling the plan an imposed international guardianship structure. Meanwhile, in Israel, some right-wing officials raised alarms over the statehood nod, worried it sets a precedent they're not ready to stomach. In short, everyone's talking, nobody fully agrees, and tensions are buzzing. Now, let's end on the biggest question, why you should care no matter where you're watching from. This plan doesn't just tweak policy, it has the power to rewrite the entire regional playbook. For the first time in years, major world powers are rallying around a structured reconstruction and security initiative in Gaza, which could change humanitarian operations, border politics, and how future conflicts are managed. The introduction of an international force shifts responsibility from internal factions to a multinational presence. Add in the possibility, however conditional, of Palestinian statehood, and you've got a blueprint with major global ripples. This is the kind of resolution that shapes alliances, redraws priorities, and sets the tone for years to come. If you're feeling the impact of this story, and you should, make sure you stay plugged in right here at Global Pulse News. Hit that like button with the confidence of a diplomat slamming a vote card. Drop a comment with your take on this massive global shift, and subscribe so you never miss another worldwide shakeup. Trust me, with the speed things are moving, you're going to want us in your corner, keeping it bold, sharp, and straight to the point. Stay informed, stay curious, and stay tuned.